Over the years, the Indy 500 pace vehicle has been various types of cars, from Chevys and Fords to Chryslers and Oldsmobiles. But one car brand that's a tad underrepresented in the Indy 500 is Dodge. It's only been used 4 times, where in 1971, the second time Dodge paced the field, a Challenger driven by local Dodge dealer Eldon Palmer lost control and slammed into the photographer's stand. Thankfully, nobody was killed, but even to this day, it's one of the most iconic moments for pace vehicles at the Indy 500. For the next 19 years, no Dodge would pace the field at the Indy 500. But as the 90s came, Dodge was ready to come back to the greatest spectacle in racing. But what was meant to be a beautiful reunion after near tragedy would turn into one of the strangest controversies in speedway history. Today, I tell the story of the banned pace car. To start this story off, we need to go back a couple years and travel over 6,000 miles away from Indianapolis. In October of 1989, at that year's Tokyo Motor Show, Mitsubishi would reveal its competitor to the Mazda Cosmos and Toyota Supra, the Mitsubishi 3000 GT. Well, at least that's what it was called in Japan. Everywhere else it was called the Dodge Stealth. The Stealth was quite different from anything else on the market, certainly different from anything made by GM and Ford at the time. It was a sports car that featured a beautiful marriage of Japanese build quality and ingenuity, and American horsepower. The 3-liter V6 put out more horsepower than the Corvette at the time, and had features considered high-tech even today, let alone 30 plus years ago. Of all the Dodges on the market in 1991, the Stealth was a go-to choice for that year's Indy 500 pace car. But as soon as the choice was announced, there would be controversy. Founded in 1935, the UAW, United Auto Workers, was America's car building union, and when the Stealth was announced as a 500 pace car, the UAW was far from happy. Despite being the golden star of Dodge, the car held an obvious yet forgotten secret. The car was just a relabeled Mitsubishi, and the UAW weren't happy that a fundamentally foreign car was set to be the pace car for the biggest race in the nation. Now, there was never a rule that an Indy 500 pace car had to be American, but some rules don't need to be written in ink for them to be observed. At any point in time with any other country, this would have been bad, irritating the union that controls the employees holding up the American car industry, but many other factors went into play that made the situation even worse. 1991 would mark the 50th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor, which at the time was still the deadliest attack on American soil. Matters weren't helped by the fact that the car was a Mitsubishi. In Imperial Japan during World War II, Mitsubishi directly helped with the war efforts. In 1940, they rolled out the infamous Mitsubishi A6M, better known as a Zero. The same company that built gunner and kamikaze planes used in World War II to kill American servicemen was now building the car meant to pace the field at the biggest race in the country on Memorial Day weekend. On top of this, 1991 saw America have untimely levels of patriotism. Along with the unfortunate anniversary mentioned earlier, America was off the back of the Gulf War, and nearing the end of the Cold War too. With all those factors combined, Dodge and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway had to do something. Over the next few months, Dodge ramped up production of a new car to 11, and by the month of May, 2 prototypes of the all-new, all-American Dodge Viper were ready for that year's Indy 500. With Carroll Shelby as the honorary pace car driver, the Viper was seen by the world for the first time that month. The 2 Vipers were eventually returned to Chrysler for testing, with one then being returned to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway at a later date. Despite not being used for the event, the Dodge Stealth was and still is considered the official pace car for the 1991 Indy 500, with a yellow Stealth being gifted to race winner Rick Mears, who scored his 4th Indy 500 win that year. Roger Penske then gave Mears a ZR1 Corvette in exchange for the Stealth, which is allegedly still in his personal collection. Along with the 3 Stealths at Indy that month, 150 Indy 500 pace car replicas were built, which serve as reminders of a very strange scandal. Thank you for watching, and have a great afternoon.